Dies. I'm gonna call him Dies. Is using Garfield Link, and we're off.
I have no idea who 50% of these sprites are. Just saying.
And we start with a big 20 in Link's chest. So, as mentioned, standard means we are going to have to complete the escape sequence, and we get a map check here. Crystals all around in the light world. A 5-6 crystal, the 5th crystal to be exact, on east of.
It's already a very promising start. Of course, you want to have the crystals on these fairly short and easy dungeons. Less time to complete the seed overall.
Uncle has the sword. Aw, that's boring.
I'm sorry, we accidentally gave these runners a vanilla seed.
Well, we would have found the lamp in the house chest if that were, but we do get a whole stack of cash here in the first chest in the escape. That covers the bottle vendor and possibility of having to buy bombs.
Yep, it's also 60% of the way to Zora, so maybe something that comes into play depending on early itemization.
Yeah. Most runners will opt to either take Flipper once they find a Moon Pearl, or if they find a Flipper, it's just standard, go there. In order to also grab the Waterfall chest and the Zora ledge if required.
We're about to see what's in the first chest of escape. It's the flute. What a very nice early item to find.
Yeah, that is very convenient. We're not even in Kakariko yet, and start with the flute. It makes the early checks a little faster because we can flute to 8, and so skip the walk over to the Ice Rock Cave, or at least shorten it. And of course, just generally, that also opens up Death Mountain.
Of course, don't forget, if you find it this early, you also have the option to flute to 7 instead of taking the 3 screen transitions that lead to the dam. Also, saves a little bit of time.
That's true. And looks like ball players having some fun with the flute while clearing the dungeon here.
So it's already interesting to see the kind of potential implications of the items. Swords obviously don't open a whole lot in the light world other than just the general ability to take care of enemies easier, but it is one of the 3 items that you require for Aghanim. Flute, on the other hand, also doesn't come into play until Misery Maya, right? So at the end of the day, it probably looks like a Death Mountain early possibility or something annoying with Aghanim.
Yeah.
Of course, we've only seen 4 chests or 5 chests or something, so it's early to judge.
Also, another convenience that the flute gives us is that we can check Desert Legend Agina, without having to walk over there, which is also going to be.
Yeah, it's fairly unlikely that Agina will be one of those weird last locations that have been open for you for quite a while today.
Yeah. And Dice is starting off to try and see if they can find a bomb, just some arrows, for both him and Volta here in the bottom.
One of the very good advantages of getting a weapon that doesn't function on a resource is that you can pretty much kill everything that you meet, so it gives you the highest chance of getting bombs, other than actually getting bombs from Uncle.
Yeah. That said, if you're unlucky with enemy patterns, say with the key rat, it's possible that you also lose those bombs. So it's not a guarantee that you will go into the back of escape if you start with the bomb pack. It's likely, of course, but not a guarantee. And looks like the snakes don't hold any bombs for us either. That's unfortunate.
No, they're dropping all sorts of goodies, but none of those go boom.
Yeah. Well, your hot goes boom.
I think at this point well, Walter is very close to seeking through the entire track of the drop pack, so I find it very unlikely that we'll see any bomb drops in sewers now.
Yeah, I don't think... Yeah, it doesn't look like the rats have bombs either. And, it would be unfortunate if the green guards had them, but nobody got a drop off of them.
Oh, there's one. Steezel found one just before he runs out of enemies to actually kill. So rats do drop them.
That's oh, that's very good luck for Wolf as well. Also to get that one bomb. Not really worth it. I mean, the 3 bombs are gonna come in handy with Kakariko. We don't have to buy the bomb pack like right at the start. Provided we don't find any more. But otherwise, that was not worth the stress. Looks like Duke Firebird also found a bomb.
But Big Master's still missing one, and it's really not the fact that you find anything back there. Of course, that's nice, but the whole psychological value of, like, you left 3 chests behind that you could have potentially gotten is problematic, and you might be hard-pressed to go back for them, and that's especially bad if there's nothing there.
Yeah, it's like, it could be that the glove is... Oh, and there was a bomb drop for Big Master right as he walks out of the door. But yeah, like, if the glove is in the sewers, or the back of the escape rather, you have... And it's like the only glove you have access to, logically. You would have to walk the entire way back if you don't find a bomb. And a full magic refill from the porter, which is very useful.
It's a very nice thing to get those. Unfortunately, for the most part, well, it's not going to be a problem with flute, of course, because you can flute to 7. There's a crab near it. But otherwise, usually these crabs are very much out of the way and are hard to use and easy to forget about.
And we found the mirror in the woods and the hookshot in the thief's hideout. Pretty loaded early game already. Like, we already have a lot of mobility items. We'd only be needing the boots, and we have the full mobility package.
Yeah, and both the hookshot and the mirror are items that could be very useful for Death Mountain, as well as your Death Mountain access, the flute. So I think the seed is very much trying to say something here.
Yeah, I think that's true. It pretty much is screaming Death Mountain right now. But I think most of the runners will opt to first clear out Kakariko before going up Death Mountain.
Well, you pretty much would have to, because otherwise you would not have an active flute.
What is this? What is this early game? We found the Cane of Samaria here in Blind's basement.
Well, I mean, it could be potentially useless. It could be that we have a Myron Turtle pendant.
Yeah, I mean, all of these items that we found so far, also, except, like, we still would need the mitts, but otherwise, we could go into Mire and the Mire area. And of course the Moon Pearl as well. Well, speaking of the Moon Pearl...
Damn, I was about to say that we had the potential to have one of those checkerboard cave Moon Pearls.
Wow.
Not
and a
something.
book... I mean, we're like not even 10 minutes in and we're probably like a third of the inventory cleared out already.
So you do have, at this point, entry access into the Tower of Hera, and the Desert Palace can clear neither. Well, you can potentially clear Hera, depending on key layout, of course. Cannot clear Desert because no fire source.
And no gloves.
Oh yeah, there are blocks that you cannot bypass using loot clips in this mode. Yes, that is true.
Chat already wanting to see a pet check. I doubt that any of the runners are gonna do that on their own. But since we did find a mirror, it's very possible that when those runners clear Skullwoods, or if they clear Skullwoods, that they will mirror over and check the pedestal just to make sure.
And that can be very far down the seed. You can go quite a while without a fire rod, so it's possible that we won't know until like an hour from now. And yes, to that point, it's very, very rare that the runners would go to the pedestal from this point in a standard seed. You usually would do that if you find the book in Kakariko following a south to north route, but that is impractical in standard.
Just an arrow on the library.
We should be coming to the last item in this area, which is Big 20. So racing game is completely optional this season.
Looks like, yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, literally, that was literally what I was gonna say. Volta takes the hint from the seed here. It's like, go to Death Mountain! But not all of the runners do. Dai... Okay, maybe Dai decided differently. Was gonna walk down, but opted to save and quit to Sanctuary.
It's an interesting decision. I wonder what he has in mind at this point.
Oh, maybe... No. I was gonna say maybe they are going to take like the route through the other side of the cave, but they don't have the gloves, so I have no idea what's going on here.
Maybe he oh my god, he forgot to activate the flute, didn't he?
Oh yeah, that's.
In the meantime, Walter picked up the powder from the old man on the mountain and got himself blocked off by that.
And Duke Firebird is, however, doing the South Shore route here. Finds the Master Sword drowned in the dam.
Well, that's very handy going before you go into the Tower of Hera. That lets you entirely skip the fast phase of Moldom.
Yeah, I assume like it's not very often that you find the flute so early on, and it's probably just a lapse of mind there. Oh, it's a blue boomerang that's in the dam. So Duke Firebird picked that one up as well. We found a mushroom here in the lower or upper half of Paradox Cave, depending on which perspective you take.
This certainly looks like Fetch Quest Central for now.
Yeah, we don't have a bottle yet, but it's looking like it. We got the book for the tablets, the pads as well, of course. But oh, there's another sword here, and a glove. So,
and there's nothing trolly about this seed. This is disco. Oh, and the flippers too. Why not? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, this seed is like loaded. We are gonna have a very early tempered sword.
That being said, we haven't found the top 3 worst items in the game, which is the Ice Rod, the Bow, and the Fire Rod in that order.
Well, I would argue the medallions can also be quite bad. There's a red boomerang on the floating island. It's very unlikely any of the runners are gonna pick it up. And it looks like Mini Moldrum Cave didn't really have anything. Big must have picked up the blue mail. I did not see where that was. Might have been a Gina, maybe?
Maybe. I think I remember him being in the desert area.
Sunken Treasure was a sort of great chat. Let's see what Spiral Cave holds for us. Just some cash. So, that month did pay out.
It
quite a bit.
did to a degree, but it's only unlocking certain fragments. As of course, flippers are locking at this point 4 items. Gloves are knocking nothing yet, right? Well, there's the back half of desert, but you cannot complete that.
Yeah, but we have only seen the eastern side of the mountain so far. We're gonna see the spectacle rock, both the interior and the exterior. More cash lying on top of spectacle rock. The runners might pick it up. Looks like Volplay is gonna skip out on the hint and just go straight into Tower of Hera here. Probably will pick up the Ether tablet on the way as well.
It's an interesting decision because any hint that you skip might be the boots hint. You want those as soon as possible.
Yeah. Looks like Duke Firebird is going in, but Dai also decided to skip out on it, while Big Master is Fatefoot. Let's see what Waterfall Cave has for us.
Another fetch quest.
And there's the Titansmiths on the Ether
Dark
tablet.
World map check.
Oh yeah.
Turtle Rock, Thieves Town are blue and red, and Ice Palace is green. I did not manage to catch the 5-6.
The 5-6 crystal is indeed on Palace of Darkness, which means that the 5-6 crystals are basically adjacent to each other.
Ooh.
And both require us to have the bow, so...
And yes, with those Titansmiths, we actually have the access to the Dark World that we want, and with Turtle Rock not in play, we're not looking for the Ice Rod. This just keeps getting better.
Yeah, and that also reduces the likelihood of us having to go on a medallion hunt as well, since we only need one of the medallions, possibly two if Fire Rod is in Ice Path.
Hold on, I'm not sure if you mentioned this. Chat saying the hint in Spectacle Rock was actually the boots hint, and it pointed to Stumpy.
Oh, I totally missed that. Yeah, I did not see what Duke Firebird was picking up because I was watching.
And a unique item requires the green pendant as well from Hera, so that's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, that is actually very interesting because it might be a required item, but it might also be just a red herring. The single arrow counts as a unique item, as does the bugnet.
Did find a single arrow in Minimaldum Cave, I saw that. So at this point, it's the bugnet or the shovel.
Are you sure? Yes. I don't see it on anybody's HUD out of the people who went to the Minimaldum Cave. I think that might have been just an arrow. Oh, the single arrow. I thought you said silver arrow. My bad.
Wolf are taking an unfortunate fall there.
Yeah, it can be anything that we haven't found yet that is not a mail, sword, shield upgrade, or a bottle.
It does have the potential to be good. It could be just like, you know, the bow at this point. Ice Palace has it. Ice Palace does not require the bow strictly. At the same time, it could be, yes, as you said, total red herring.
Yeah, I mean, it could be the Fire Rod for all we know. That is on Green Pendant, and the seed wants us to clear Ice Palace with bombos.
I think that hash left a lasting impression on you.
Yeah. Those two bombos in the hash where it's just like speaking to me. I just know that bombos is gonna be troll item. And we only found one of the two items in Tower of Hera, if I saw that correctly, which means that one item is fire locked in the basement.
It's going to be interesting to see if they go back to that, or if they get a hint for it. It's, of course, one of those bad locations that are shuffled into the bad location hint.
And Wolpa is gonna make their way over to Dark Death Mountain here.
very first person that's capable of doing so, as Diesel is going to be picking up his mitts while he's here, so he's probably going to opt to do this as well.
Yeah.
Getting his map check in on Wolfer's side. So far, it's looking extremely linear, unless that bottle that Big Master sequence broke. Well, sequence broke from his perspective. Of course, the flippers are available, unless those actually mean something.
And there's another mail upgrade in the Super Bunny Cave, which means that if Walther, Die, and Duke Firebird are going to go to the desert, they will have the red mail, and it's very likely that Big Master will have the red mail regardless.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely looks like the seed that would give you Tempered Sword and red mail this early.
Hookshot Cave has 4 chests. Luckily, we don't have to walk over to that bottom chest.
Nothing at all.
Nothing of value, yeah. We're probably gonna see what the Turtle Rock medallion is since we're already up here. And then Walther is likely going to make a beeline to their next target.
So that was Ether. That is not necessarily required, of course. Turtle Rock is a pendant, so as far as we know, we don't really need to clear.
And it looks like we're gonna go into the Dark Village, which, you know, makes sense. We do have Thieves Town there, that it's at least 4 chests, unless any of the runners decide to go to the back hall. And of course, like, the village itself has a bunch of items in it and adjacent to it.
Yeah, this makes perfect sense. You're usually going to go north to south here, which means that you'll end up mirroring to the locations that you have missed in the light world. Very good route. 3 bombs in the treasure chest game, so that's not very helpful.
Yeah. Blow up the brewery, I think it is called.
So it's going to be interesting to see how far Wolfer goes into Thieves Town here. It's very likely that it'll open up and he'll get the front 4. It's a pendant though, so whether or not you want to go to the back is like entirely an on-the-spot decision. It's not a slow dungeon, but nevertheless. Okay, he's pulling out the mirror, so he's not leaving anything up as a mystery here.
There's also the point to be made that we do not have a hammer, which means that a potential item can be in that chest.
Absolutely true.
Thieves Town, of course, has a total of 4 items, and out of these 4 chests here in the front, the maximum, of course, is 3. So, since we are guaranteed to get the key here.
Yep. And the bane of some or many runners is that the front 3 may be items that are completely garbage, and then you don't go into the back because it's so low value. And you end up leaving something important in there. But it's not necessarily going to be the case here. Only 2 items in the front, so still a relatively valuable back of Thieves Town. You did find a small key though, so immediately indicating that the big chest is not a small key. You probably want to come back later with a hammer if you're in a tight spot.
We're also probably going to see the bumper cave here on Walter's side. Unless they decide to dig south on that part. No? Okay. They go south. Which means we're going to see the digging game, Stumpy, probably into hiking.
This also means that, ironically, Wolfer might be the very first one, although Duke Firebird might beat him to it, to pick up the boots. What a nice... What is this seed? Seriously.
Right?
The very first dig, get the heart piece, get out.
Yep. Both the runners that are currently here in this area, picking up the Smith, will probably deliver it home, and then pick up the purple chest and then go south. We're gonna leave the Peck Cave, and looks like Duke Firebird decides to take the powder check first.
It makes sense. You're right here. Obviously, you're going to end up isolating Hammerpack Cave here. It's not that big of a deal, especially you isolated with, in their case, Sick Kid. So you have 2 items to come back for here. So maybe if there's like something important here, it's not a complete one-off.
Yeah, looks like we have some counterfeiters here with the dwarves, and the magic bat is also not very very useful, just giving us a single rupee.
It's almost vanilla. It's green.
Yeah, that truly is a curse to plant a single rupee.
Now, of course, when you do this, mirror portal to the Batcave without the hammer, you do lock yourself out of the Dark World. So both of our runners pulling out the flute and fluting right back to Kakariko. It's only half a screen, but it's still saving time.
Yeah. Luckily, we did define the myths. We don't have to take the entire way around from the top to get to the Dark World. So we can just take a little shortcut.
But it does look like Volther is going for the full fetch quest turn-in route here, turning in the mushroom. For nothing of value. Well, S-Diesel did opt to go into the back of Thief's Town, so I wonder how this one plays off.
Yeah. Of course, the hope is here that the map or the compass are in the big chest, and we don't have to find anything else here.
Honestly, it's a 50-50 at this point. It's very good odds. If you find something here, it's very likely that at least some of the other races didn't do this, so you could be looking for a way to get ahead here. Absolutely.
And Die opting to not pick up the hint either here in Town. Yeah, I think that Duke Firebird decided to take this route because he knew that the boots are on Thumpy. Oh, there's the K45.
You know, there's... Oh, never mind. We have the flippers, so we do have access to the pod area, logically. I was about to say we don't have the hammer. If it has it, maybe there's something that comes into play, but no.
Yeah, and we've seen the Lumberchick Cave only has, I think it was 50 rupees that were sitting on that ledge, so we don't need Aghanim at all this seed.
Duke Firebird picks up his boots and is so excited about it that he drops the purple chest and spends about 20 seconds trying to pick it back up. When you drop that, it just doesn't want to come with you.
Yeah, it can be a bit stubborn to pick it up. Alright, Lunchbox. What does Gary have for us today? Just the heart container. I think that's... No, I think it gives you a bottle in vanilla, doesn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Worth noting that it's his 12th heart container, so we're not starved for anything at all in this seed.
Hmm. And Bomble's tablet, as so often, somebody cheeky just carved an additional O into the Bomb's tablet there. Meanwhile, Walter finds himself in a money cave. Yeesh.
That's a very, very rich guy you just robbed there.
Yeah, that fox person got a lot of money, and
Clearly
we
it's...
found
Go ahead.
Dai has found 20 rupees here on blind and takes the red pendant. I'm not sure if they found the map and the compass in
So the map
attic.
map was upstairs. I remember that one. I
All right.
did not see what was in the maiden chest though.
Yeah, okay. So here's hoping that that was another item in Keystone in the maiden's chest rather than on chest.
There's the Bombos medallion on the sick kid, so we might have that iceberg scenario you were talking about. We only need the hammer to be able to clear it now.
Yeah, we can go in. We just can't clear parts of it.
I mean, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
All right. I was just about to say that at some point this scene has to get like interesting. Like, and at this point, there's not a whole lot that can happen, but a hammer and ice palace would still be potentially interesting.
Yeah. Of course, Wolfa has not done the south route earlier, so we'll find their tempered sword here.
He's going for the swamp hint first here. He does not have the ability to like fully clear this. The hammer pegs at the first switch prevent him from doing that.
That is a very, very cool hint there.
It was a swamp hint, and I saw the compass. What was the other thing?
It's at the it was the left side swamp hint, some cash, and the compass in left side swamp, and very conveniently placed as well.
You're not supposed to be here is basically what it's saying.
Yeah.
And the troll chest of Swamp Palace does not have the hammer, so...
Zora, just some bombs for us today.
A very, very bad investment. You can get a 10 for 50.
Meanwhile, we are seeing the other grumpy fish on the Firebird's side. even less worth it, I feel. Well, I mean, I guess it's free 20 rupees as opposed to free bombs for 500. Hard to say what the better bargain is.
It's a significantly smaller ripoff, that's for sure.
Yeah, that is true.
Alright, well, it does look like the runners are retracing each other's steps right now. Usually indicative of the fact that there's no super attractive I can't say that word. Attractive options.
Yeah, I think if I was in their shoes, I would probably dip Pod in Eastern area now. Nobody was into Hospital's Closet just yet, if I remember right. And that's 3 chests there, plus of course, depending on if Pod is locked, we can clear a good chunk of that dungeon. And of course, Dai is not very happy with the money cave here, and leaves a very explosive present.
I mean, to be fair, the guy in the hype cave definitely paid for it. Also, I don't recall seeing Graveyard Ledge, so that's definitely hanging out there. Bump Cave, front of Skull Woods, as well as both are heading to it now, but the Hobo.
Yeah, we have. I think I'm not sure if Big Master picked up Hobo, but yeah. Of course, the Bonk Rocks, King's Tomb, and Graveyard Ledge also are options.
Oh yeah, Boots Locked options definitely available now. Did forget about that. So that actually means the North Dark World with the mirror is quite attractive right now. as an alternative. Of course, Walther already being here, probably going to opt to check Pyramid, and then Sahasra, Palace Darkness, and Eastern Palace.
Or Volta might opt to go for the northern path here and go to Catfish, then mirror over to the Zora area. Oh, there's another medallion there. And it's Quake. Okay. Oh, looks like.
Go ahead.
Looks like Duke Firebird picked it up earlier. And speaking of Duke Firebird is indeed exactly taking the northern Dark World route here with the boost locations and Breaker.
I suppose if you're coming back from Catfish, this is where you probably end up going. Although I'm not sure I agree with this routing, to be honest. Right? You kind of put yourself into a dead end here, like you force a Skull Woods out of it. So, like, I would personally would have preferred to see Palace of Darkness right after Pyramid, and then come back here after re-entering the Dark World from Sanctuary if it doesn't pan out.
What is to note here is that Duke Firebird found the Ice Rod in these two.
Which is notable, of course, but also at the same time, Turtle Rock is a pendant, so it's something that you don't really necessarily want to see outside of Ganon.
You definitely don't want to see it, but yeah. Oh.
It is notable and notably bad.
Absolutely. Looks like Volta is indeed also taking the northern route and skipping out on the eastern area for now.
Oh, there's another thing that we haven't seen and might be accessible. It's just Misery Maya. We do have the mids.
Yeah, we can full clear Misery Maya. Logically, we do not have the lamp yet, so we shouldn't be able to clear the back part. But most of the runners, or probably all of the runners, would probably be have enough expertise to clear the dark rooms. Misery Maya. Well, looks like something is on the bumper ledge. I didn't see what it was, but since Duke Firebird is going for it.
In the meantime, Misery Maya is Bombo, so that Sick Kid Bombo's medallion is valuable indeed.
Oh my god, I'm a witch. Oh, there's the hammer on the bumper ledge. Oh yeah. Okay, so you were just saying that you don't agree with the routing? Well, I definitely agree with the routing here from Duke Firebird because this really paid off.
It's luck.
I mean, has the hammer now, so could full clear Thieves Town if so wanting. And of course, we will also see the Pet Cave, which we haven't earlier.
So here's a crazy idea. Say you pick up the Bombo's medallion from the Sick Kid right here, like he's doing right now. You do also have everything you need to get the green pendant, which is locking a unique item.
That is true.
It could be the bow, just sitting right next to Eastern Palace and Palace of Darkness.
That is perfectly true, yeah. And yeah, chat, there are Firelock locations in Mire. Oh, I did see full clear. Yeah, my bad. I meant clear as in beat the boss. My bad.
We are getting our first look at Desert Palace from S Diesel here, picking up a compass from the middle room, got a small key from the torch room. I did not see what the hint was though.
Yeah, I didn't catch it either.
It's very possible though that right here Duke Firebird might attempt a clear of Misery Mire. If there's a crystal, if there's nothing on the left side, then it's perfectly fine. If the big key is available, of course, you can go all the way to the boss. But you also risk isolating an important item. We have seen in recent races someone being a bit liberal about skipping chests in Misery Mire and skipping the Ice Rod altogether.
Yeah. Dai has found both of the items in Desert Palace, which were just some bombs and some rupees, so nothing of note there.
Firebird's going for it, and I almost expect Walther to be right behind him on this. Does have the medallion.
And there's a red mail for Dai. Indeed, it was in Agina's cave. And looks like, did Walther skip going to Bumper Ledge?
He did indeed, although I haven't been following too closely what he was doing. I expect that he may have just fluted out of the Zora area. No, he has the Ice Rod, so yeah, he just stopped at Graveyard Ledge then. But you know what else I don't see on Walther's tracker? I don't see the cape. Did he also skip 45?
No. I think that was just missed out track there. Both definitely picked up. Oh, so that was that hint. Okay.
There's like a tablet on the wall in Desert Palace that says, "Hey, don't expect too much from this place, dude."
Yeah. Man, this seat started out super like loaded, and now it's like this one item that we're looking for.
Yeah.
That said, with Hammer, Pod is starting to look a lot more attractive, I would argue.
Yeah, I can see that. You also have a bottle, so you can bypass the Bowlock, of course. So it's absolutely not that bad. Still, we do know that a unique item is in it, not a pod. So anyone who read that hint might be thinking about just waiting right now. There's another thing that I want to note here. Duke Firebird has all the small keys right now from Misery Maya. It's kind of starting to look like a Firelock big key.
Yeah, meanwhile, Dai has found both of the items that are hidden in Skullwood, which was a bottle with blue goo and the blue cane.
Chat, bow cannot be on left side Swamp, because Swamp had a convenient hint that its own left side is useless.
So we, since we didn't find a small key in either of those two chests, we have to go through the pinball room here. That said, Dai already knows, okay, I got both of the items, so nothing I can find here that is going to be useful for me. So
I would have opened the one chest coming out of pinball room just in case it's a small key. Just maybe helps a little bit with the routing of the boss later.
Yeah, I agree with that. I would have picked that up too. And Dai about to get their hammer makes a double take there. Is it really the hammer up there?
You gotta be sure. It's a long cave. So I'd like to note Duke Firebird has left Misery Maya. That big key is not available, or he's not comfortable with the landmark sections. I doubt that. I think it was simply not available, and I think it's starting to look a little bit like Ice Palace.
Mm-hmm.
And if it is, this is your fault. I mean, to be fair, the sea did warn us.
Yeah, I guess I should prepare myself to be burned at the stake.
It's the commentator's curse in action right there.
Yeah. Walter also is going to make the dip into Misery Mire here.
And he'll find nothing but keys.
Wouldn't it be just perfect if, like, Sahasrama's closet has the fire rod and the bow just lying there? Or the lamp.
This point. Just the back of it, and the pendant was Bugnet.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't seen it yet. You know, we haven't none of the runners yet recent have been Sahasrara, or the
I do
eastern
f-
area in general.
Do find it odd because with the flute, which we had since minute 2, it's really not that big of a deal. You've fluted to much worse locations already.
Looks like Dai is also thinking, oh no, I'm gonna have to go through swamp, don't I? Oh yeah, we can go through swamp now, don't we? We have
Oh,
to hook
yeah.
up the hammer. Yeah. That's true. Totally forgot about swamp even existing. At least we know that we don't have to see the left side.
If he decides to read the hint.
Well, I mean, you might as well.
Surely he won't skip that.
Like, I understand skipping the Thief's Town hint because, you know, you have to hit the switch, go up the stairs, read the hint, go back down, hit the switch again, go back up. So, you know, that's a bunch of time, but that hint is just, like, a little bit over there.
I think it's probably one of those that are easier to forget about because you don't necessarily see it on screen. So, of course, I don't expect any of these races to be inexperienced enough for that, but definitely when you're starting up, there's a hint on the right. Go read it.
Looks like Dai is thinking very hard about this decision right now. Do we really want to go through swamp? Oh, and he skips it. No!
Oh no,
Oh.
yeah, he has tests open.
Yeah.
He probably already read it.
Yeah, okay, then it's true. Alright. I was getting concerned there. Duke Firebird is gonna read the hint. Realize, okay, I don't have to bother with any
Wolfer is
shenanigans.
Wolfer is finally picking up his bow, his fire rod, and his
His lamp.
You know how bad it would be if he found the bow here?
Oh no!
It's useless. Okay. Thank God. But you know how bad would it be if he found the bow here? Because he doesn't have the hammer.
Oh yeah, that's true, yeah. That would be unfortunate.
Alright, so we have put Sahasra's closet in the coffin. So it's either swamp or ice at this point, right?
Yeah, it pretty much has to be. Or maybe pot based on like the parts we can clear. Also, chat mentioning indeed. We haven't seen the lamp yet either. We don't even have fire source at all.
Yeah, and there's an item left behind fire in Hera as well. That's going to be quite a late check if it ever comes into play.
Oh man, the basement double dip required? That would be nasty.
You know, after that start, this seed kind of deserves to have a curveball somewhere. Just kind of has to be, right? Hey, you know what else could potentially crop up somewhere? The Ether Medallion with a favorable Turtle key layout.
Oh no. Hit the fire rod and then on laser bridge. That's like the reversal of the tradition of Iceward being a laser bridge. And looks like the big key is here in the flooded room, so Dai is gonna make their way back up. Did not get the little skip of that glitch with the stairs there. We'll have to go back up.
Yeah, that's what fake layers does for you. Just you're on the wrong height. They put those stairs in and then never expected you to go back up. I don't understand those.
Right. So yeah, there is nothing of value in the big chest. So
Stereotypical swamp so far.
Yeah, we haven't found anything useful in swamp at all so far. So there's only 2 more item locations left, which are the waterfall room that we're gonna that hidden chest there. We're gonna open up in a second here, and Argus. Oh, just 20 rupees. Let's hope there's something good in Argus. I mean, we have to clear this dungeon anyway because it's a crystal.
This is Screaming Ice Palace. It's Ice Palace. I'm sorry, it's Ice Palace with Sahasra Ether.
Oh man, Steve was warning us. It's like saying, Ice Palace with Bombos. Go there now.
I am curious if, like at this point, you do have the choice of going Pendant Ice Palace, getting a guaranteed unique item, which can still be Shovel or Bugnet, so it's not that great. Or you have the possibility of maybe probably double dipping both Pod and Eastern. What do you do?
I would probably still go for Pod Eastern, frankly. I don't know, it's just... you know, with a bit of luck, quote-unquote, Pod is Bollock, so... You know, then Eastern has like 3 items that could hold, so...
I think Wolford disagrees with you, because this looks like an Ice Palace dip.
Yeah.
Which I think he was kind of looking forward to, because he's doing this the moment he grabs that hammer.
Thanks, game.
Unique item in Blindside Out. Which unique item? Excuse me. The place was loaded.
What's I think the Cane of Samaria was there. I'm not sure if there was anything else in Blindside Out.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, most of the value was Lost Woods. There was the Cane of Samaria and Blindside Out, the Moon Pearl in the well.
The well, yeah. So, Swamp Palace was a bust, aside from the crystal.
Ice Palace has the silvers, though.
I mean, that's convenient. We don't have to worry about silverless again, and once we find the bow.
We're getting very close to that point now, because really, if you have found both of the items in Desert and Skull Woods, suddenly a fire source isn't unlocking that much. There's maybe, I think, there's Maya, so Maya could have something locked behind the fire source, and maybe that's about it.
Yeah, Hera and yeah, we found both items. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
We also found a hint that says unique item in Ganon's Tower. Now, you know what that means? We can cross one of the useless unique items off the list that will be found behind the green pendant. That just makes the green pendant better.
Yeah, it pretty much has to be an item that isn't required to get there. And, I mean, it could be the Ether Medallion. It could be that Ether is in Ganon's Tower and we don't even have to, like, look at it at all.
It's true. It depends on when the Fire Rod shows up, because it definitely could be a scenario here where all of this is leading to... Oh, what did Duke Firebird just pick up? The Fire Rod in Hammer Pegs?
Oh, man.
So what if the Ether Medallion is on Sahasrara? A lamp held by someone friendly as well.
That could be Sahasrara. That does count for Sahasrara, actually. I'm not sure if we've... I think we've seen all the other NPCs that counts them.
Yes, I think so. I'm trying to think of ones that are really out of the way, but no, not really.
Yeah, we've seen Sora, we've seen Catfish, we've seen Uncle, we've seen the Hype Cave and Mini Mulgrim Cave NPCs. We've seen the Old Man on the Mountain, we've seen Sick Kid, we've seen the Bottle Vendor, we've seen the Bat, we've seen the Smiths. I think that's basically all of them, except for Sahasrara.
So, okay, so let's assume that Lamp on Sahasrara, Fire Rod obviously found, but doesn't actually do much. So that still kind of leaves us with Maya and possibility of a forced double dip into the Bow Dungeons. Or Ice Palace turns up with Ether or Bow. Interesting.
Also, what is to note here is that it's very unlikely at this point. Actually, it's impossible at this point that we need to see the Permit Fairy.
However, Pedestal can be in play.
That is true, yeah. Depending on where we find No, we have everything except for ether. For yeah, depending where we find ether, pedestal is certainly a possibility.
Yeah, and I think Firebird's about to read it, to be honest.
Yeah. Would be surprising if they didn't.
I mean, we are running very low on locations at this point. It has to start feeling like it's concerning, especially you just found the fire rod, so you do know that you are one item away from that being a logic.
Hmm. Man, it's like hammer on the bumper ledge and like fire rod in Pig Cave and you know it's like those little single you sometimes abandoned locations there.
You have to dig deep to get to that fire rod, that's true. Like,
Yeah.
you had to get the cape from Cave 45, you had to go back to Bumper Cave, get the hammer, you had to go down to Hammer Pegs. I mean, I could see it happening in one go, but in practice, your routing just never works out like that.
I just realized something. You know what else we haven't checked yet? Spike Cave.
Oh yeah, that is in there. It's very easy to forget about when you don't have anything to do with Death Mountain, but, you know, you did leave an item in the Tower of Hera, so you could tie the two together.
And Duke Firebird indeed did just do the pet check, and I'm sorry to say, chat, but Pet is still dead.
Well, I mean, to be honest, we are very close to being able to pull it anyway, so it might as well be a pet seed if it does anything in Turtle Rock.
Yeah, basically an honorary pet seed. And we will get the Dream Pendant here for Wolfa, who will possibly hand it in at some point in the near future for the lamp. Otherwise, go ahead.
From his perspective, it's actually a good deal.
But yeah.
It's ridiculous, but it's a good deal for him because he doesn't have that fire rod. Sorry I cut you off there.
It has to be Lamp. I don't think there's any other NPC left. Yeah, there it is.
Expected results. So at this point, okay, you go to Maya because it's clearable. You already dipped it, you kind of left things in there, you clear it, but maybe this is actually intended by logic that you get the lamp from Sahasra just to get the one dark room chest in Eastern Palace for the bow.
Oh man, that would be so rude. If that is what the seed wants you to do, then I'm gonna say that my my thought of doing Eastern first is vindicated.
At this point, it all comes down to one of these 3 dungeons, though. It has to, though.
Yeah. I mean, no, it's actually 4 dungeons. It's either in Pod, or in Eastern, or in Mire, or in that one chest you left behind.
Oh yeah, Don't forget about the Hera basement chest,
which we can actually open now that we found a lamp or the fire rod, depending on which of the runners we're looking at.
We can, but we also don't want to.
Yeah, of course we don't. You know.
So, compass in the fast chest, which means we're going to watch the cutscene, as it's required to seed.
Yeah, it's the vanilla big key.
So in the meantime, Diesel in the Dark World, just south of the Palace of Darkness. Now, do keep in mind, he did do the entirety of Thieves' Town for basically nothing at all. I also don't know if he left an item in there, by the way. So he might not want to also gamble on Ice Palace, which means he's going to be skipping out on the lamp. Does not have the fire source right now. But we are about to get our first step of the bow dungeons.
And we do learn that indeed, Pyramid Fairy, as expected, is not required, just some bombs and cash.
Yeah, at this point, it couldn't be.
Yeah.
In the meantime, chat is coming up with their best of this a bad situation, naming Ether and Hera, Shovel and Krynex, leading to Bow. Please no.
I'm just noticing that Duke Firebird's tunic is yellow, so I assume Duke Firebird is playing Hat Color Link, actually, not just regular Link.
CMYK Link?
Well, I mean, the hat in Greenmail isn't exactly cyan, but close enough, I suppose.
I mean, it would be a nice flavor. I mean, usually you're RGB.
Yeah. My favorite flavor is actually Vanilla Link, because he turns into a Neapolitan ice cream.
Oh, come on.
It's true! The blue mail turns him into Chocolate Link, and the red mail turns him into Strawberry Link.
Who comes up with this stuff? I prefer the Darkling sprite, mostly because it lets me see visual cues in major glitch modes just all the same. But I do really like that he turns into Vanilla Link as a bunny.
Yeah, I like the Boo sprite a lot because it gives a clear vision of the shadow. It's also cute. And I use the shadow to like line up bomb jumps and stuff.
Yep,
we find a shield here in Pod. It's the first item we've gotten.
I did miss. Was it bow locked?
No, I don't think it was.
I saw a bomb pickup there on SD's screen. I did not see what the right side chest was. It's possible that it was invisible in the dark.
Yeah, some of the items don't show up on.
Oh, hold on. It is bow logged. To a different degree, he does not have any small keys left. I don't know if he did the pit, so it's possible that there's keys on that.
Okay, so Bow is on Vitreous.
Wow. So I mean, Voltha's going to be like, all right, well, I made a good decision going to get that lamp off of Saharshala when you could have achieved the same thing by just hammering the pegs and the ice burst that was completely useless. Also, chat saying go mode, it's not yet. We're in no mode, but Voltha obviously does not have a fire rod right now.
Yeah. Duke Firebird will be in go mode once he kills Vitreous. Will be lampless though. Not that it should matter. I mean, the dark room in Pod is kind of nasty. But I mean, if you can clear the Mire rooms, I think it's safe to say that you can clear the Pod rooms as well.
And you have the fire rod, so as long as you know how to line up the torches in the middle of the room, it should be very simple.
Yeah, Wolf, of course, is now beelining, clearing out all those crystal dungeons in hopes of finding the fire rod. Which I think means that Duke Firebird is pretty much in the lead now.
Yeah, Duke Firebird knowing that he doesn't need to find any more items, is only going to check for the big key in Palace of Darkness and Eastern Palace. That is a huge deal for him, potentially. I did not catch where the Palace of Darkness big key was, by the way. But either way, you definitely skip Dark Maze, you skip the basement where we know that we found the pack of 3 bombs. It's still a time game. On the other hand, if it's not that big of a deal because of a bad big key placement, Walther has the silvers.
I honestly, Volta has completely orphaned the hammer pad. So unless Walter decides, okay, I want to go to Thieves Town because I left the backside behind as well, and picks up the hammer packs there, this is not going to happen before Walter clears all of the crystal dungeons, except for Skull Woods.
It's true. At the same time, these are the only 2 crystal dungeons. Well, oh no, he hasn't done Swamp at all, has he?
No, it's gonna do Pot and Eastern now. Now that he cleared Desert, we'll then probably do Swamp, and then be like, okay, what did I miss? And this gives Duke Firebird ample time to just clear Pot and Eastern, and then just go again.
The good news is, he did leave 3 items. He knows he'd leave 3 items in Village of Outcasts, together with the 2 left in Thieves' Stand. So it's not that unappealing. I could see it maybe instead of clearing Swamp just going there, but it's probably not going to happen. But after he gets the Crystal Dungeons, it's definitely going to be his first thought before Hera Basement and Spike Cave.
Mm-hmm. And both Big Master and Dai are going to pick up their Fire Rod momentarily here.
The question is...
Jet is bringing up also a very good point here. If Eastern or Pot has Ether that Waltham might pick up, that also might lead to him to Triple Rock.
So, yes, it's a scenario that could happen. At the same time, we do have a hint about a unique item in Ganon's Tower, so for his sake, I'm hoping that's Ether.
Yeah. I mean, it might be the Bugnet, it might be, Does Half Magic count as a unique item? I'm actually not sure about that one.
Me neither,
But, could be the Bugnet or Shovel. One of our trackers here, Relkin, confirms that indeed Half Magic does count as a unique item, so it can be Half Magic. Oh, it's not a unique item. I'm getting conflicting information here.
I don't know, I have vague memories of some items not counting as
Yeah, I know.
for some reason.
The bottle, the sword, mail, shield upgrades do not count as unique items.
Those make sense. I also know that the 10 bomb pickup, which is, well, technically unique, does not count as unique because bomb pickups exist. I don't know about half magic. There's no such condition for it. There's no, like, alternative to half magic, right? So
yeah,
maybe it... But chat's also saying half magic is in TR, so I think we had a hint for that somewhere. And that's also the point I was going to bring up. Well, at this point, honestly, Ganon Sour, 27 chests, 5 of those have to be keys. Turtle Rock, 5 items flat. So it's very likely that nothing that leads Walther off on a sort of a rabbit hole will actually turn up, but if it does, it's a problem.
Right, so getting confirmation there now that Half Magic is indeed a unique item. But apparently Eastern Palace hint we had. Oh, I didn't see, I think it was Dai who went into Eastern Palace. I didn't catch them reading that hint.
Yeah, I honestly caught nothing about that Eastern Palace dip. Not the keys or the hints. So the item that was invisible in the basement was a heart piece, though. So we know that now. So 3 items out of a total of 6, right? No, 5, because Swamp Palace is the 6th dungeon. So 3 items out of 5 are not the ether. That's already good news. And the big key is in the depths of the Dark Maze, so Duke Firebird not gaining a whole lot of time over Walther here. It's very likely he's going to check every chest except the big chest that Walther already did. So, from my point of view here, it just does not seem that dire. Of course, there's the extra time that the Ice Palace detour has added on top of this for Walther, but at the end of the day, it could be very tight between Duke Firebird and Walther, like, based on, do you immediately decide to go for the 3 items you left in Village of Outcasts right after you clear your crystal dungeons? There's not going to be a big problem there either, because we already know what's on the left side of Swamp Palace. The hint was right there, so like there's like not going to be any big detours there either.
Yeah. I mean, Walther...
Go ahead.
No.
Alright, on the other hand, Duke Firebird does have that Morphula kill, so that could account for it.
Yeah, it's I'm not as optimistic about Walther's chances here, because I said, like, I feel like Walther's probably gonna clear all of the crystal dungeons before going back to and or Village of Outcasts to pick up the fire rod from the pet cave.
Yeah, the more I'm looking at it, the more I feel like Walther's probably an entire GTD spawn behind here. But GTD spawns do happen.
I mean, obviously Walther has like the small upside of having silver arrows at his disposal, which means that he can kill the bosses a little bit. But in the grand scheme of things, that's and Ganon, of course, as well. I don't think that will make up for the Ice Palace detour, and probably full clearing all of the crystal dungeons while Duke Firebird gets basically go mode. Sort of go mode. I mean, Duke Firebird did have to full clear the Palace of Darkness to get the big key here.
Yeah, that's a little bit helpful there for Walther, but yeah, I agree. It's probably not enough.
We also don't know what Walther's thinking. Maybe Walther's thinking, okay, I have the lamp now. I can go to Talcera and can pick up Spike Hit on the way or something like that. You know? Yeah. Or if Armos even that is like even more likely if Armos Knights has Ether.
Oh yeah, that would be bad. I disagree that he would consider Hera though. At the end of the day, Hera and plus Spike Cave is 2, and it's just about as slow as getting the 3 out of the Village of Outcasts. Just both Spike Cave and the Hera Basement are horrendously slow potentially.
Yeah, but of course that is like if Ether gets added into the mix, Hera and Spike Cave become very attractive because you have those 2 plus Turtle Rock and Mimic Cave.
Yeah, I agree. If Ether turns up, he's just going to go for it. He's probably not even going to consider Hera and Spike Cave before Turtle Rock. Just go into Turtle Rock. As Diesel is taking care of Victius right now, having already picked up the Fire Rod, which means he is about to be in Gomo's.
And
oh yeah, chat is pointing out Walther is actually looking for Fire Rod, so I did not even consider that, but that's a really good point, is that you can open up Turtle Rock, but you do know that you have a very good chance of being key-locked. Do you still think it's better to do that before you do, I don't know, Thieves Down?
yeah, I'm not sure what Wolf is gonna do. I mean, clearing out the remaining crystal dungeons first is probably his priority here.
Absolutely. Fire Rod is in Hammer Pegs, which was very close to the hammer on top of Bumper Cave, but given that you routed your Darkhold entry from the Mid-Locked portal in Village of Outcasts going south, it was not the most obvious choice that you could have done. And also, Walther had gone to the Palace of Darkness area, headed up to Catfish, and then went all the way to Graveyard Ledge on the mainland, and then opted to save and quit, forgetting about Bumper Cave. So he did get the hammer quite late. Well, we're about to find out if Normal Armos is going to lead us into Turtle Rock, possibly. No, it does not. So
good for Walther here, getting that vanilla heart container.
Yeah, it's clear he can't beat Duke Firebird here. Duke Firebird about to pick up the 7th crystal, but he could still possibly be in direct competition here with S Diesel, depending on how that pans out and how late he gets his Fire Rod.
Yeah. Looks like Wolf is gonna make the trip to Swamp Palace now.
So while Duke Firebird is going for the Almost Knights fight, Walther entering Swamp Palace, as Diesel heading back to Mafula, having already found both the items in Skullwoods, he's just going to go straight to Mafula. Of course, he's also in Go mode, so wouldn't really want to clear any of the remaining chests. And Big Master, once he completes this trip, he will also be in Go mode, I believe. Yeah, he will be. From Victius as bow. And with that, Duke Firebird gets his 7 crystals, and you know what that means.
Yeah, it means that we are going to play the Ganon's Tower Wiki game. There are 22 chests in Ganon's Tower that can hold the big key that we need to go upstairs while Duke Firebird gets Dead Rock here. And what we like to do here is just guess in which of the locations it is. And, well, Yami, where do you think Ganon's big key is going to be?
Well, I mean, this is kind of a middle road seed, right? Front-loaded, but in the end turned out to be a little bit just off the path with items. So given that it was a middle road seed, I'm going to say it's square in the middle at behind Ice Armos. Let's say the left side chest. I feel like a left side chest seed.
All right, I'm gonna guess that it's gonna be chest number 14, which is if you don't do the right side first, going to be Bob's chest.
Nice. It all your entire bet rests on whether or not we find a small key on the right side, of course.
And no, Duke Firebird doesn't do Dark Magician yet.
I don't feel that he would feel that behind at this point. You're at 1 hour 20, entering Ganon's Tower. Some of the items you recognize weren't optimally placed for just blazing through. I think he feels good about it not to do Dark Magician, which is generally used as a way to try to wrest an additional advantage out of Ganon's Tower, trying to beat those who go for the full left route.
Sure, that said, some runners do just like doing it.
I guess. I don't see why, but I guess.
Personal preference. Like I know some runners that like doing Dark Magician or Dark Magician-esque strats where like you go to the Stalfos room and then you do the right side and then you mirror back out and do the left side instead of going full right. I've seen that one before.
In the meantime, we find a heart piece in chest number 1, small key in chest number 2, and Duke Firebird is going for the right side first. We'll see if this is a full right, or if he opts to go for the more standard, get the small key from the right side and continue left if the big key is not here.
Yeah. Which would put, if this is standard routing and mirroring out after playing the right side, which would put my guess of 14 into the random room, but I'm still gonna say Bob's chest.
And it pushes my guess to basically the high 10s and low 20s.
Yeah. Yeah, depending on where Duke Firebird goes first.
3 heart pieces and the big 20.
Yeah, that was a trip. All right. At least we're gonna get a small key here.
He's going to continue right to Isamu's and Bob's chest.
Well, we're gonna go full right, chat. That is, I haven't seen somebody just go full right after clearing just the right side here. Not doing the Sulphur's room first in a while. So, oops.
I also think it's not that desirable to do this without Silvers. Your Armor's fight is going to be just a little bit slower. At that point, you might be better off doing the efficiency of getting the 10 chests. Duke Firebird having a little bit of trouble with this bonk, and the Beetle is just
that
not letting...
Bullying for Duke Firebird here.
A hookshot would have been really helpful there. Hookshot, of course, stuns a Beetle, has the potential to also knock it off.
And looks like my prognosis was actually correct, and Wolfa is going to go for the Hera basement first and probably attach the Spike Cape on there.
Oh no.
Yeah, that is going to cost Wolfa like a good minute.
Chest number 8, Bob's chest, is the big key. Unfortunately, your guess was not 8.
Yeah, I did guess Bob's chest, just the wrong number.
Seeing as nobody in chat, as far as I can see, guessed 8, I'm just going to give it to you. You get a supply of rando seeds. Congratulations.
So I guess that Bombos would be a trolley thing here, and required. I guess that the big key is in Bob's chest. Yeesh.
Not only you completely ruined Wolfer's game here. By the way, Buttersword in the Hera basement.
Yeah, just sort of raid. And we're getting a correction here. Pantsu General guessed 8. So congratulations.
I'm sorry I didn't spot that. Yeah, Pantsu General, congratulations. You get his year's supply of Brando seeds.
Oh, I was gonna reward Pantsu General with a stick of I can't believe it's not butter out of Moldorm's pantry here.
That is very useful to have at the start of your next seed.
And it's the sand card? No, it wasn't the sand card. Yeah, just a heart container here in the spike cave. So Walther is basically out of options here. I assume we'll be fluting to Kakariko, yeah, and going to check Easttown and the Hammer Packs. Let's hope that he goes to the Hammer Packs first.
So now we have a big race on the bottom while Duke Firebird is ascending the gauntlet here, because Walther probably going to go for Hammer Packs first. It's probably the best choice. He does seem to be going for it. SD is, in the meantime, clearing out past Darkness, so they're probably going to get a synced 7th crystal pickup and to Ganestar at the same time.
Did the die clear Eastern Palace already?
No, but it's a fast dungeon, and I think he's been in there. Has the big key, just has to go straight to Almost Knights.
That said, of course, Dice does not have the lamp, so that Armos, no, not Armos, the Igor, my bad. The Igor with the small key might be a bit of a hassle.
I mean, realistically speaking, when you have Tempered Sword, you just go into that room and start slashing, and eventually it just dies. So,
that's true. And
very nicely executed Fire Rod Lambos from Duke Firebird here, but he is running low on magic. I don't know if he used his stored goose. He must have, because he must know at this point that he cannot afford to waste magic to this degree. Alright, there we go. 2 blue potions in his inventory, so he's going to be totally fine.
Tries to get the most leverage here out of that the little magic jars that are in this room, and using the potion.
I feel like that's unnecessary. Of course, you probably want to use this opportunity to completely skip picking up the full magic refill in this next room. Just go straight upstairs. But you do have that next magic refill coming up, which is fairly easy to access, so I feel like it's not worth the time investment.
Yeah. Let's see if Duke Firebird opts to open up these chests, probably in the hopes of finding the silver arrows to make the Ganon fight a bit easier.
Or the Butter Sword, and we know that both of those items are not here.
Yeah.
You could, however, stumble upon Mirror Shield to make the fight ever so slightly laggier.
Oh, that's just, yeah, thank you. Just what we needed, more lag. And we're on to Moldorm 2 here. Tempered Sword, of course, Moldorm's no trouble at all.
Moldorm is not playing nice today. We've seen multiple runners fall to both versions. Ready? Meantime, Volta picked up his 7 crystals on his way to Ganonstown. Now, SD's are very closely behind. All he has to do is just put some arrows into the Almost Knights.
Yeah, this is gonna depend on, partially depend on routing as well.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the textbook big key routing scenarios. Especially, you do have the option of going full left, which we know is essentially worthless at this point. But on the other hand, not many people, as you mentioned before, do full right. So interesting to see how this will turn out.
And of course, on the other hand, Walter also has the gold sword and the silver arrows. So the Ganon fight is going to be a bit easier, as well as just generally traversing through Ganon's tower with the silver arrows. It makes it a little easier.
Definitely speaks to Walther's execution, that he did all these extra things. He did Terror Basement, he did Ice Palace in its entirety. He's still in second place on the restream.
Yeah. And we're on to Arcanum 2. Since we, I mean, technically it's 1 since we didn't have to fight the first variation. But 2 doubles so far, so pretty solid.
And 2 singles. Down goes Aghanim. There was a blue ball in the second round, second cycle there, so a 2 cycle was not possible, but a 3 cycle would have been.
Yeah, so the triple double basically.
Yep.
Yeah, and Dai is just very shortly behind Wolf. Like, I would say like 20 seconds maybe.
Yeah, if at this point Walther goes full left and Diesel goes full right, then they should be going up the gauntlet head to head. But in the meantime, Duke Firebird fighting Ganon didn't get a good double position, so he's going to get 2 harpoon spins in the first phase, and on to the second phase we go. Not the worst position, but you do get hit by the fire bats if you stand off to the side there. You can double that position if you line it up very nicely on the top. This position is very bad, and I actually kind of am concerned here. Manages to survive.
Yeah, the hookshot invulnerability frames there being very useful. Looks like Walther is going to go the right path. See if Walther goes full right.
3 single teleports in a row. I bet Aghanim did 0 blue balls this seed. We just didn't see it. 4 single teleports in a row. And off we go to a... Oh no. Oh no. He has no lamp. Has to do 12 spins, and he only has 1 refill. He's going to try to make the most of this, and he falls. Oh no.
I mean, luckily, does have a red potion as well, so...
His inventory is currently just a blue. Checked when... Yeah, when he did the, torch room, the first one, he went through all of his potions, and there were 2 empty bottles and 2 blues. He used one of the blues to be able to afford to light the torches.
I could have sworn I saw red, but maybe I'm just blind.
Oh, or maybe I'm blind. You thought I was the maiden, but I actually was blind all along. Luckily for Duke Firebird, both Walther and Diesel are going full left after the right side check, so they're going to take a little bit to get that big key. I'm not saying that he has a comfortable lead at this point. Like, he really should be able to get Ganon this attempt, or he does risk the other runners catching up to him.
Yeah, I don't think that unless Duke Firebird falls a couple more times or dies, that any of the either of the runners will die.
Yeah,
they'll be able to catch up because they still need to get the key from Bob's chest, and we have to go up all the entire gauntlet, kill Aghanim 2, and then they're back up, and that's that's not as quick as taking down Ganon.
It's not true. I'm being a little bit overly optimistic here, but do note that I mean, okay, at this point he has 4 blue potions and should have absolutely 0 trouble with the entire fight, but he does optimally want to get a Fire Rod Torch glitch, because he does not have the lamp, does not have the silvers, so it's still a sort of a tougher variant of the Ganon fight, and when you have to light 2 torches, things can go wrong. Ganon's teleports were just as nice this time as well. Does not get the torch glitch. But otherwise seems to have no trouble keeping up with this, so I think that all my optimism for the other runners was in vain. Duke Firebird is probably going to take it here.
Mm-hmm.
Voltha, meanwhile, in the possession of the GT Vicky, heading up the tower now.
Ganon body blocking for Duke Firebird there from lighting that torch with the last fire rod shot they had.
Yeah, the big pig can be quite bad with his teleports in this phase. Especially when you have no torch glitch, so you might not have a good bearing on where he's going. He could just end up on top of you because you misread his teleport.
Ooh, misfires one of those shots there.
Should be the last spin, if I'm counting correctly. Yes, it is. So Duke Firebird now just has to cross the bridge without falling. A task that is not that difficult.
I've seen people fall through the bridge, so you know. Alright, GG's Duke Firebird here, finishing out in, let's see here, 7th place with a SRL time of 1 hour, 35 minutes, and 41 seconds. GG's Duke Firebird, of course, ahead of Duke Firebird are 6 other people. First, Killer App 23 with a time of 1 hour, 23 minutes, and 14 minutes. Wow, that was a jet seater, right? Second, Bonta Mikan in third, Ilos fourth, Lin Lin fifth, Nidarific in sixth. And the last few finishers all within a couple minutes of each other.
Yep, GG's to Duke Firebird. We'll see if we can get him in here for an interview. Oh dear.
Oh, we have.
No, that was on his stream.
Yeah, it was Duke Firebird just yelling, "Where the heck was the lamp?" That was pretty good.
He should know. I think he picked up the hints for it to piece it together.
Yeah, Duke Firebird is in chat here right now with us. Duke Firebird, the lamp wasn't Sahasrara. So you would have had to clear Ice Palace to get it.
And at some point in the seed, you got a hint that said unique item on green pendant, and another hint that said someone friendly is holding the lamp, and based off of that, there were no other locations left where the lamp could have been. So it was on Sahasrara.
Although I'm not sure if Duke Firebird actually cleared all the other NPCs. So, but yeah. Let's see here. We also got a few more finishers while Voltar and Dai are climbing the last few rooms here of Ganon's Tower. We have, let's see here, in 8th place, Koride, in 9th place, Just to See, Roland Tunkier in 10th, and 11th, Korek, Goomba 90 12th, Pierre Yuang in 13th, Shire in 14th, and Yoshi in 15th.
People do seem to be clustering in pretty close to each other here.
Yeah.
This was the median time for you to realize that from Bumper Cave, all you had to do was go down to Hammer Pegs.
Oh yeah, that's true. Meekin pointing out that the green pennant, the lamp isn't somebody friendly. Was it? I think the first hint in Ice Palace. So
first, it was. I agree.
Yeah, the lobby room with the freezer, and Walther is going into Aghanim 2 here, with Dai hot on Walter's heels, going into Muldoon 2 momentarily.
There's going to be a huge difference between these runners, namely that Walther has the Butter Sword, which means 6 slashes instead of 12 for each of the first 2 Ganon phases, and also the Silver Arrows.
Yeah. And Aghanim 2 goes down.
In fact, I kind of wonder at this point, does Diesel have any Diesel left in his potions? I'm sorry about that one.
Wow, that was
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Because if you don't get that torch glitch, then you don't have enough Fire Rod shots to finish off Ganon. Yeah, you can get 3 triples, and that would be enough. Have fun with that. 4 triples? Did I say 3 triples? Never mind. Yeah, I meant 4 triples.
And just as Walther enters the last phase of Ganon, Dai is going into the Ganon fight. Of course, with Silver Arrows, Ganon's last phase of Trivial gets double hit as well on there, and Walther takes down Ganon as the second here on our restream. So GG's to Walther, unless of course Walther falls, which he does not, luckily, and finishes here in 20th place with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 41 minutes, and 23 seconds. And is not very happy. Puts in also a comment that says that he's not very happy with the hints in this scene.
It was totally the correct play to follow those hints. But the scene does apologize to him.
And of course, we are now on Diesel's end here. Who just enters the last phase of Ganon. Of course, gets the Fire Rod Torch Glitch here, so that's going to be very useful for them.
Nice. And we are joined by Walther. We're actually joined by Duke Firebird. Hi. We also have Walther down there.
Yeah, Walther's going to join us momentarily.
So, while we wait, the Duke, how was that seed?
I can't see anything. Help!
Hi, hi, Duke Firebird.
Pendant Ice had everything. Jeez.
Yeah. We did briefly hear you on Restream shouting out to your stream about the location of the lamp.
Yeah, somebody. Yeah, I saw that in the chat, and I'm just like, it's on Saw. I'm like, I mean, I got the hint for the item on Green Pendant. I'm like, okay, that could be anything. So then I got the single arrow, and I'm like, okay, I feel better. Then it's like, never really had any gumption because I'm like, if it is the lamp, I'm like, I'm comfortable with dark rooms. So, and when everything else fell into place, well, didn't need to get it.
And Dai takes down Ganon as well. We'll have to cross the bridge, and then finishes here third on the restream. So Walther has joined us in the meantime. GG to both you, Duke Firebird, and Walther.
Yo, GG's.
Yeah, GG, man.
So Walther, for you, the problem item was the Fire Rod.
Yep. Kind of got baited into Ice Palace with that hint. and everything kind of went bad after that.
Which hint, the unique item on Green Pendant?
Yeah.
Did
And
you
then when I was
feel-
in Ice Palace, I got the hint that someone friendly had a lamp, and I was like, oh, okay, you could probably have skipped Ice Palace.
Oh, okay. Oh,
At that point, I was just-
that was the hint. Okay.
Yeah, I was just hoping at that point that hopefully Fire Rod is gonna be like fire locked, but it was the bow instead in Meyer.
Yep. Unfortunately, yep, the fire rod was hammerlocked.
It was an interesting chain that led to that fire rod, though, because you had to get the hammer from on top of Bumper Cave, for which you had to get the cape from down in
Cave 45.
Cave 45. So it's like a weird back and forth. And my question to Walther, you opted to stop checking the Northern Darkhold after Graveyard Ledge. So how do you feel about that hammer?
Yeah, like I got the hammer, and I was like, okay, I'm probably gonna check either not King's Team Graveyard Ledge or Hammer Pegs, and Graveyard Ledge is like more out of the way, so it's like, let's just take that one before Ice Pass, I guess. This is like the third time in like 5 races that Hammer Pegs has screwed me over, so I guess I should start checking that more often.
Yeah, you also had it like orphaned as well among the Smith chain checks there. So also, I don't think I mentioned it, but as Dysel has finished in 21st with an official SRL time of 1 hour 43 minutes and 39 seconds, so just behind Volta here.
GG, and we'll see if he comes in for an interview. In the meantime, please continue.
Right. So, what Duke Firebird? Actually, I have a question for you. What led you to go full right?
Just gut feeling, really. I mean, sometimes my routing in GT is really weird. Sometimes I go right, sometimes I do Hope and then go pure left, sometimes I do Hope Room and then go Dark Magician, other times I just go pure right. It's just whatever I'm really feeling, and I'm like, I was just thinking, it's like, I think it's on Armos. That's what I was thinking. I think it was on Ice Armos because I didn't have the silvers and I had low arrow count, so I'm like, okay, it's probably there. And then luckily it was in Bob's chest, so I was like, okay, that helps.
I mean, at the end of the day, Ice Armos isn't that scary of a fight with sword beams, and you do have a Bob or 2 that you can powder.
True, but at the same time, it's also time consuming. So versus
Yeah,
the
you could
18 arrow strat.
You could also do the Sumaria strat, which is very funny.
True, that's there too. But considering no half magic and
Yeah, that's fair. So yeah, actually, I would like to hear your thoughts, both of you, regarding the opening of the seat, because like that was loaded.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. Normally,
Yeah.
I don't go up to the mountain super early, but it was just like, you just felt like the seed was screaming the mountain, and then the mountain had like everything too.
Yeah, I mean, it ended up being a better decision compared to what the other races did with South Shore first, which then you ended up finding out later that had nothing. Duke Fiber?
yeah. I think didn't I do South Shore before I went up the mountain?
Yes,
I thought
you
I
did.
cleared everything out. Yeah. I mean, I saw everything for the mountain, and I was like, all right, this is screaming it, but I've been burned before leaving behind something down there. And I was like, well, okay. But it was fast enough, and I was able to at least clear it out in one go.
It was a very, very interesting start with the item load that was basically dropped on top of you, and then the two items that were so close in proximity to each other that led to further progression, where you guys all took so long to find it. Both the hammer, which was actually on display, but everyone said, "All right, well, south from Village of Outcasts sounds like a better plan." And the fire rod, of course, sitting there just locked behind that hammer.
Well, to be fair, I believe everyone went south from Village of Outcasts because boots are on a stump.
Walther, I believe, skipped that hint.
Ooh.
As did Dysel. So
Oh wow! So I was the
yeah.
only one. I was the only one who got it. Wow.
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Rockin'.
Yeah, that Spectral Rock hint was the boots hint, and it was straight out boots aren't stumpy.
Fun fact, we were joking about the fact that when Walther just looked into Spectacle Rock and then left, noting it was a heart container without reading the hint, that, hey, it could be the boots hint. It's the first hint you get this seed.
Wow. Yeah, so that was my reasoning for going south to north. I was like, all right, well, I got hookshot, got mirror, got mushroom, so I can complete all of the out-of-the-way checks on East Dark World and go to North Dark World, starting from village, grab the boots and work my way around, and then it just turns out, oh, hammer's right there, and I already have the cape. That's perfect.
It would have played out very much differently if this was a V26 seed when it was still fashionable to open with Skull Woods, no matter what you do, into the Dark World, because Skull Woods is loaded, and then you just go out and check Bumper Cave, and oh, hey, there's Hammer. It's interesting to see how the meta changed over time. I don't have any other questions, but if you have any other thoughts about this seed, feel free to share.
I don't know. It was a pretty good seed overall. If you used it a minor rotting changes, I guess, but it doesn't always work out that way. But it was a fun one.
Definitely. Alright, so in the meantime, we have Big Master fighting Ganon in this, lampless but with torch glitch silverless episode. I'm not sure how deep he is in here, but this is the last fire rod shot as far as I can see. I hope this is enough to finish Ganon off. Oh no, he has the blue. Perfect.
Yeah.
And down goes Ganon with that last spin.
Indeed. Now we have to cross the bridge here on Big Master's End.
And with that, Big Master finishes in 27th place with an official SRL time of 1 hour 52 minutes and 37 seconds. GG's to him.
GG.
GG's.
So we know he won't be joining for an interview because he does not speak English. So regardless, if any German-speaking people are out there and watching, feel free to ask him the questions if he pops in. In the meantime, we had a few more finishes. Bluin in 22nd place, Magnificent in 23rd place, Literally Jen in 24th place, Whoosh in 25th place, and Grok in 26th.
Indeed. So, I also went to check the schedule and see what is coming up here on Speed Gaming for your entertainment. Basically, just 5 minutes from now, over on Speed Gaming, no number, or in the Blind Forest All Cells tournament. Shat vs Matter Monkey is gonna start up like in a few minutes. So if you're interested in that, head over there. We also have some more ALTTPR coming today, we have the Link to the Past Randomizer League. We have Team Leftovers versus the Titansmiths over on Speed Gaming 6 at 9 p.m. Eastern. We also have Team Kappa versus Too Pearl, Too Furious at 9:30 Eastern on Speed Gaming 4. And we have Furame Will Do an Interview. Sorry, that is a good team name. Versus the Blind Battle Years on Speed Gaming 5 at 9 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to watch some more Speed Gaming, meanwhile, we also have the SM Prodigy Tournament at 5 p.m. Eastern over on Speed Gaming 2, as well as Azure Dreams at 8 p.m. on Speed Gaming 3, Splatoon 2, the Oct Expansion 80% Tournament on Speed Gaming 2 at 8 p.m. as well, and Zelda 1 Randomizer also at 10 p.m. on Speed Gaming. If you want to see how Zelda 1 works with the randomizer. Right, I think that is just about it from us for today.
Yep. Just before we go, yes, this is a great time for Randomizer, of course. We have the ALTTP League, as you mentioned, going on. We also have, later this month coming up, on also partly featured on the Speed Gaming, the ALTTP Randomizer Award Glitches Tournament starting April the 22nd. So there's going to be plenty of rando content for you to enjoy. And, you know, if you're a racer and you're interested in learning award glitches, it's plenty of time. So feel free to poke in and see if you can see if you want to learn it. And
yeah, that overworld glitches is just absolute insanity. So, like, if you ever wanted to walk through walls, you can walk through walls.
yeah,
Anyway,
they're merely a suggestion.
You can warp space and time in overworld glitches. Either way, thank you everybody for watching. Thank you to our runners. Give them a follow if you like what you saw. Duke Firebird, Wolf4, S. Dysel, and Big Master. And also, thank you to our trackers, Ralphin and Angels. Without you, we would have been completely lost. And of course, thank you also, Balliaim, for your co-commentary.
No, thank you, Red Erimer, for the co-commentary.
Alright, that's it from us for now. Head over to Speed Gaming to watch a Doria race. That sounds really cool. And I'll see you all around. Bye.
See you guys next time.
Later, everyone.